So the solve of this puzzle, the way that I've taken to do that, if I were to put it in and reduce it and not worry about any of these, each of these corners has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 petals. So there's 6 of these, there's 8 corners, so 6 times 8, there's 48 petals. So you can turn this into like a spiky Rubik's Cube, but that's 48 of these things you're going to have to put in. And if you cycle at least 2, then you're looking at doing that little commutator 24 times. So that could be a little bit cumbersome. So what I've taken to doing is trying to reduce them as much as I can before putting them in. What I'm going to do is go ahead and scramble it first. And just do a normal 3x3 scramble. And now we want to just kind of get everything else in and, you know, do little scrambles around here. Turn this over here. Do these little dino moves. I guess I can turn all of these out. And what this is doing is this is basically taking the puzzle and resorting it, so to speak. Turn this over here, here. So I'm going to continue a 3x3 scramble, only like this, which is repositioning these in ways that it's just not supposed to be. Turn this around, but I can still easily get it back to the cube form. So I'm just going to move some of them, but not all of them back in. So you can see I'm now shape-shifting it to enhance the challenge. Move this like this, perhaps. Maybe move this in over here. So now I'm taking all of these pieces and turning them into something else. Now my whole key with this tutorial is more the approach than the actual application. So I leave it to you to refine the approach as much as you can, but this is just my general technique on what I do to get through these things. So turn here, here. So what do we think? Pretty good scramble? I think maybe we can do a little bit more. All right, what I'm going to do is do the best I can to tease everything out. Abracadabra. Okay, and there we have it. Pretty well scrambled version of this puzzle. So how I would characterize this is it's not exactly a hybrid, it just has interesting cuts that almost look like dino cuts through here. So the way my general approach is going to be is I'm going to start by doing a reduction of the edges. I'm going to take a whole side and reduce the entire side. Then I'm going to reduce maybe about half of the middle and then start the process of just doing a limited reduction and then finishing the rest with a commutator that we designed. So the first step here is let's go ahead and put these corners back into something. Now you're going to see me doing a lot of things just by way of perspective. So it doesn't really contribute to the solve, but it looks more like a spiky cube at this point. So I'm going to pick a side. I usually pick green. And I'm going to go ahead and put the edges in, these inner edges in here. Again, this is purely for the purposes of perspective. It's not contributing to the solve as of yet. It's just allowing me to align things so I know where things go. So I'm taking these edges and I'm just placing them on the green side here. Slowly and meticulously, the way that I do. We'll put this up over here. This is a very smooth moving puzzle, by the way. Pretty fun puzzle. But it's one of those labor-intensive puzzles where it takes a little bit of time to do. Okay, so now that I have these, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and reduce these edges. Make these wedges and put them in over here. Now to do that, I'm going to focus on the green. So here's a green mini edge over here. The way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to take a petal and move it into where it's got to be. In order to set it up, this is going to come all the way lining up with the center on this side over here. Then I'm going to have to find a green petal up here somewhere. If I can't find it up there, find it somewhere else, like maybe up here. So I'm going to make it to where it's pointing up, facing the center. Now this petal is going to come in. The way that I know this is the right petal is this is going to be pointing down. The sharp edge here is going to be pointing down. When it's pointing down, basically all I actually, I'm sorry, it's got to be over here. So it's on this center over here. And then once it's facing down, you simply move it in. So you see it over here, move it up out of the way, move it back. Then we can put this back in. So now we're going to find the silver. So we find a silver wedge over here. Now this is lined up with the center down over here, that's good, but this is not pointing down, so we can't use this. So what I can do is move this in place because I can move this one. So this is pointing down. The sharp part is pointing down over here. Move it in. You see it's all lined up. Get it out of the way. Move it up. And I can move this back down. Hi, sweetie. Now that this is in here, we're going to find the center that it belongs to, the edge rather, here, and I simply move it in. So line it up, swing it down, and there it is. So it's halfway done. So now I find the other one. Now I like to stick with the ones that I'm putting in. So I'm going to find the other wedge over here, and that would be, which one? Right over here. So first I'm going to move this out from here. Just kind of get it out of the way. And now I'm going to do the same strategy. Now it's pretty easy to start off with because I've got a wealth of ones to use. I need a green edge. How about this one? Move this down and line it up with the bottom with the green facing up, facing to the front. This pointy thing, this pointy portion is facing down. So move it in, turn, move it up. Now kind of be cognizant of what you were doing before so you don't move out what you've already done. Okay. Now I'm going to line this up, find a silver one. I don't find one here, but I find a bunch over here. So I can move this into place. Angle this one down. Now I can move this to here. Move it down, it's reduced. Bring it up, move this up, and I can move this back. Okay, now that I have this reduced, I'm going to find the edge that it belongs to, which is here. Line it up, move it in, so you can see this edge is reduced. So we're well on our way. Pretty good, not so bad. So now we're going to do the same thing over here. Well, here's one that's ripe for use. As a matter of fact, it's lined up. Do we have a yellow that I can use here? Not across here, but here's a yellow here. Move it down, out of the way, move it back up. Now we're going to find a green. Line this up down here. Any greens anywhere here? No greens here. Let's see, how about a green here? There's a green here. Aha! This one here. So point this down to the center here with the green one facing up. The sharp edge pointing down. We go bang, splat, zoom. Okay, don't worry about this turn. We can turn that later. So now we're going to bring this where it needs to be. Obviously, it doesn't go in this way. It's upside down. So we'll move it to the other side here. Move it up from here, and then splat. So that's brought in over there. This happens to line up, but didn't mean to do that. Okay, now we're going to do the other one. Where's the other green and yellow? Green and yellow, green and yellow. Right here. So put it down here so that this is to the side, right balanced here, right at the side of the center here with the green over here. None of these two greens will work, so we have to move on to a different one. How about up here? Nope. How about here? Well, there's a green here, but that's not going to work. So now we're starting to run out of green wedges. Here's a bunch of green wedges here. So why don't I actually take this, move it to a side here. Okay, this is facing the center and right back where we started. All right, how about this one? I'm going to take this, move this here. Now, I've got to be careful because I'm about to move this edge in. This just hasn't been reduced. And this green will suffice. This green will do it. So bring it down, up, and in. So now what I want to do is I want to find a yellow. No yellows here. But there is a yellow here. Little yellow petal here. So move this down. Bang. Now I'm going to just move this into, well, nope, bang, zoom, and splat. Okay, now I'm going to move this back up. Now we kind of took this out of here, so we just got to be cognizant of that. Move this back in. Okay, find the one that we just did. Here we go. Move it up and just deposit this in here. So now this is reduced. That's all there is to it at first. So there's really no big tricks to it. It's just a matter of watching what you're doing and reducing it with these techniques. This pink and green, this one is already in. So are we set up to find another green? Well, let's see. Here's a green one over here. So mess that up or push this over here. This green, it has the pointy edge down. Turn, turn, and up. So we're good. find the green and pink, which is on this side, move it in, plant it in here, move it back down. Might as well turn this back, might as well turn this back. Okay, here's the other green and pink. So it's kind of a fun little jigsaw puzzle-esque way of doing it. I don't see any green here. How about a pink? Nope, no pinks. But there is a pink over here. Match that down. Move this in. Point it up, move it back up. While I'm in the neighborhood, maybe there's a green one I can use, and there is over here. Point that down, in. So now this is in and up. Okay. So now that I have this in, just got to be careful with all the different movements that I did. Find my green and pink. Where did it go? Here's a green and pink. Move this back in before I destroy something that I don't want to destroy. Okay, this I have to move out of the way. Okay. What I'm doing is you just have to be cognizant of where you're putting everything. Whoops. When I move that out of the way, I destroyed what I put in. So let's make sure that this is turned out of the way first before we move anything up. There we go. Move this up, move this in, move this down. Let's get the corner back. Okay, in, we have one more, and that's the green and red. Here's a green and red over here. Do we have any greens or reds? No, not so much. We do over here, so let's turn this into position. We can move this down. Any reds? None that I can use. So maybe this red here. So let's turn this up so that I can move with this edge here. And nope, conspiring against me. How about this? This is in the opposite way. There. So this can be used to come down to here. So move it down, turn it up. And now we just have to find a green that we can use, I think. Well, we don't want to use this because we moved it out of here. So notice I have to keep watching myself. It could be easy, very easy to put these out if we're not careful. But let's find another green that we can actually use. This guy. I lay odds that this is something that we can probably use. Move this down. And nope, we can't, but we can use this. So I'm going to move this down here. Pointy edge over here. Move it down. Turn and up. We'll go ahead and turn this back. Okay, turn this back over here. So now let's find that green and red, which is here. Move it up. Wrong side. Move it up from here. Bounce it in, move it down. All right, the final green and red. Final green and red is somewhere that I'm not seeing. Right here. Just kind of move this corner out of the way here. Okay. Move this down here. Here's the green that I'm looking for. There's only one left. I kind of want to move this out of the way so that whatever I turn isn't going to affect this. Okay, now I can move this down, pointy edge down, hits this over here, down, across and up. Now I find the red one, any red one, this one. Down, across, and up. Okay, now that we've done that, as long as we haven't put any out, I can move this in, wheel this down, put it down. So all these edges are in. We could put it by the proper cross. So all these edges are reduced. The next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to actually reduce the corners here because I want to take all of this out of the picture. Solve it, put it in, and be done with it. So this part is actually very easy. This small triangle is in here, this corner piece over here. I need to move a pink one into here. So out of the way, point this to the bottom, move it in, so now this is in. Put this down here, look for a silver one, here's a silver one here, move it in, and this is solved. Once this has been assembled, we now put this into the proper place up here, turn, 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 and we're good. So I might as well hit this one, find a green wedge, here's a green wedge here, and here's actually we'll use this one. So put this in, bump it out of the way, bring it out. Here's a red one, move this in, Bring it out. Put the silver one down. Do we have any silver ones that we can use? This one, all the way around, and now we've assembled this corner. This corner will find its home at its respective place, so this one is in. What else do we have? Let's move a green triangle into here. Probably comes from this one. Let's move this guy down. So let's negotiate an exchange here. So this is in. This one likes this here. Actually, the pink one, this one is closer to being assembled, so I'll put this one in. So this one is assembled here. I'll wrap this into its proper place. You know, this puzzle does not pop on me, or has not popped on me as of yet. Okay, here's a yellow triangle to put in with this yellow portion here. So right now, it's a pretty fun, easy first few steps. Nothing really major. Haven't gotten to any complicated features. And we always have our security blanket, which is our commutators, our 3 cycles. So we've reduced this first layer over here. What we're going to do is we're going to continue the process and we're going to reduce more edges. What we're going to do is we're going to reduce 2 of these edges over here. Okay, so how do we hit this next layer over here? Well, it's not too difficult to start off with. So what I'm probably going to want to do is hit the edges that actually belong down here. So I'm not going to do the blue ones quite yet. Not that it matters, but it might help with my perspective a little bit. So here's a red and yellow one just staring at me right in the face. Now we have to be cognizant of what we put in here. We can still do it intuitively like that and avoid these things, but we just have to be aware of it. So I'm going to point away from it. And by the way, just so you know, as long as I have 2 edges that are undone, I can pretty simply, I can fairly easily place things. But I got more than that, so right now it's going to be pretty straightforward. Let's see, here's a, I can do red, I can do whatever I need. Nothing is really jumping out at me as an opportunity. Let's see, here is a red one over here, so I'm going to place this red here. So red wedge, red petal, red wedge, and moving puzzle. Okay, this moves down, this is in just fine, bring it up. So now I'm going to see if maybe I can get lucky and have another yellow one. One isn't jumping out at me. So how about over here? Yep, I've got this over here. Line it up, bring it in, and bring it up. Okay, now that I have that, I'm going to find the proper, whoop, it happens to be here. Once I put this in, what I'm going to do is place this here with this on the bottom so that this can be facing the top. Don't worry about this being off because that can easily be put back in. So I'm going to take this and just move it down here. So I do the algorithm to place this here. Again, this is an algorithm, not a commutator. It's just a series of instructions, and now I can move this back. So now I'm going to do the other one and place it here. So again, nothing too complicated about this. Here is the other red and yellow. Do I see a red here? I do. Move it in, up, back. Do I see yellow I can use? Let's see, bring this over here. And I do see a yellow I can use here. Down, up, back. Okay, find the proper place, which is right here, and I simply move it in. So this is in, I'm just going to keep that there. Why don't I do one that's next to it, like the yellow and pink. So here's a yellow and pink over here. Now understand, as I'm moving this in, I move this out here. Now you can do that as long as you're not going to mess it up. So I'm going to move this over here, so you kind of get used to this being taken out just momentarily. Down, across, which places this back in, and then up. So what about pink? Pink, Mr. Pink. Pink over here. So bring this down over here, so this is pointing to the center here. Here's the pink, wedge down, or sharp area down, turn, turn, turn. All right, take this out from here, and let's find the center that this, the edge rather, this belongs to. It belongs over here. So let's move this out of the way. Here it is here, move this up, so now this is in. Once this is in, I'm now going to put this on its side where this is down here. And this is facing up so that I can easily put this in. Turn, 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 and down. Okay, now we put the next one in. I can get this back. So these are kind of my buffers, my work zones. I can do any amount of moving with these. Once we get past these two, it make it a little more complicated. And you're going to have to make a choice at that point, which I will leave to you. But anyway, here's this. This is already in, so I'm going to find a yellow that I can use, which is right here. Move this down here, down, turn, and up. Okay, take this out. All too easy. Okay, so very quickly we got two over here. Now, you have a choice that you can make. You can go ahead and reduce all of the rest. When you get down to the last few, the last two, reduction is going to be difficult, so you may have to use algorithms and patterns in order to do that. I'd rather not. I've already got a perfectly good commutator that I can use to get through the last few steps. So you can either stop reducing all of these now and just put these edges in where they're supposed to be and do the commutator do the rest, or you can keep going. It really depends. At this point now, it probably would be a good idea to put these corners in. So turn, 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 and turn. Now this is just the order that I prefer to do it. So this is up here. I've got these two, this over here, and I still have quite a number that I can use as my workspace. But it might be a good idea to go ahead and put these corners in because it's easiest to do that. Even if you start messing some up, it's still pretty easy to put in. So here's a pink one, move this here, move it in, out of the way, and move it away. Here's a red one which can go over to here, so why don't I move this over here, double turn, and move that in. Here's another yellow one. Is there a yellow one that's in need? This one, move this across here, turn it in, and kersplat. This blue to go to here, so let's bank this out of the way, turn it in, and we're good. Okay, here's a pink, lining with a pink over here. So we've got turn, turn, and turn. Okay, we've got this red one here. Turn this red one in. So it's just easier for me to do it this way. And turn. Well, this gray one wants to come to here, so bang. So most of them are in. We just have, well, we have this gray one that needs to go in. I've got two blues over here, which could be used. Well, here's what I can do. I'm going to put this in over here, and I want to move a blue one into here from one of these guys. If I do an adjacent edge swap of these two, these are also going to swap, and these blues are going to end up here. So if I move this over here, this blue is facing down, this blue is facing down. These are about to be facing up because they're going to flip with these edges here. So I'm going to go 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, to U, and you can see these are in. It's not something you have to memorize, it's just kind of an interesting strategy that just sort of works out. Silver, this will come to here, bring this silver down and up. Okay, so what we have is we've got all the corners that are in for whatever that's worth. Oh, except for this. This guy got a little messed up somehow. Okay, this to go over to here. And turn. Now that we've got two of our edges and we put our corners in, what we can do is we can actually attempt another edge. So it could be from anywhere. This is already in, so why don't we try this one? But we just have to be cognizant of what's going to happen. As we're putting the edges in, we're going to start destroying the corners. So we're going to want to put the corners back in. Yep.
These are so cool.
They are cool, aren't they? Over here, and let's see if we can get a silver one in. Gotta find a silver. So where am I going to draw the silver one from? How about this one? Well, I'd like to move these up, so I'm just going to do an adjacent edge swap to flip them. 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U. There's my flipped edge. Bring this up. You're eating cherries, yes. Okay, which one was I doing? I lost track of it. This one, that's right. And I was looking to see if there's a silver one, which there is. So I can move this over here. Can't use that one. I can use this, but I got to be cognizant of this guy. Again, it's okay as long as I don't destroy it, which I won't. Move this in, bring it up, bring this up. This is not destroyed, simply move this in. Find the edge that this belongs to, and it probably would be a good idea to move it down. So that's going to be this, what? The silver and pink. Silver and pink, which happens to be here. Does it move in? Nope. So let's go ahead and corner swap that. Now, when I did that, I did take this out. So what I may want to do before too long is go ahead and replace this. So edges over here. Bring this in. So that's in. That's good. And back. So I start repairing the corners as I'm doing it, so that came in pretty nicely. So let's go ahead and flip this. Best way to flip it, just do an adjacent edge swap, which will turn this upside down. 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U. Okay, move this in and bang. Now that that's in, let's flip it back again. 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U. And I kind of get the habit of checking my work because I may have taken a corner out and not realize it. So now I'm going to put the other one in. So where is the other one? I'm looking here. Aha, silver and pink. All I got to do is put a pink one in. Find a pink one that I like, that does the job. I can move this down to here. Be cognizant of this. Here's a pink all the way across here. So just make sure that this one isn't carried aloft with everything. This comes down, turn. This, well, is not what it needs to be. Then this is turned back.
Is that easy?
Okay. Is it easy? It's all easy once you figure it out. That's a very good question, Jessica. Now this one was taken out. So this one was didn't handle this too well. So I'm going to want to very quickly put this back in. Turn, turn, turn. Put this back in. So it should be fairly easy to fix the things that got broken, even if it means taking something else out. Okay. This is in here, so now we've got the fourth one. Now we know that we messed up a corner somewhere, right over here. So this is a fairly easy swap. With this here, because I want two that are open to me, I'm going to move this up here so I can move my corners back in. Turn, turn, and turn. Okay, so what were my two corners? This one and this one. I'd like to move this to here, so I'm just going to do a corner rotation until this gets to here. Turn, 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 and turn. Here and here. We'll arrange, negotiate a swap. We got to be careful though, because we're now, as a matter of fact, why don't we do this? I'd really like to take this and move it away from here. Okay? 2R, U, 2R, U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, U, 2R, UI, 2R. Okay. And we'll get these guys back in. This comes to here. This comes to here. And turn. Okay, let's look at these guys back. Okay, so we have our third edge. But I think it probably would be best to keep it up here because we could try for our fourth edge over here. Just to put all of them in and deal with the corners accordingly. And maybe that'll be the last one. I generally either stop there and continue to reduce these, or maybe try my fourth edge. Okay, why don't we do the red and silver. I'll move this up here. Do we have a silver one? We do, right here. So we might as well. Down, cross, and up. Once we have that, move this over here. And now I want to move this back in, so I'm going to move this over. We'll move this, see if this is out of the way. It's out of the way. I'm not destroying anything else. Move this up, turn, and down, so that gets that back. Okay, so we're on this guy, and now I'm looking for a red. Turn this up, and let's see if we can't find a red somewhere. Over here, we can use this red. Be careful about this. Now we can't use this red here because this is in the way. So what I want to do is I want to get this edge and move it over here. 2R, U, 2R, U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, U, 2R, UI, 2R. Okay? A little note to all you fathers out there, don't buy your kids a kazoo. I'm just saying. So now we're going to put the reds here. This comes down here. This comes down here. Down, across, and
Mom,
up.
can I have this?
Once we've done that, I'd like to bring this back in. So that'll be down again here, across and up. Okay, now that that's here, I have to put this in right. So let's go ahead and do, let's swap these around. 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U. And now we put this in here and sweep it in and flip it again. 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U. Okay, so now this is upside down. We have 1, 2, 3, and we're going for our fourth. I don't know. All right, so next we've got this one, and let's see if we can do it. And point this down here. We've got the red one here, and down, across, and up. Now what I like to do is move this in back as quick as we can, so I'm going to point this down and up. What about the red one? Move this here, up, and move this over here. Bring this all the way up to here, just to get it out of the way. Alright, I think we can go to here. Turn, turn, turn. Alright, that was just a little bit of fancy footwork, but you can figure it out. Now we need to see if we can very carefully move in a silver one. This goes to here, this goes to here, and this can work. This comes down here, this turns in, this turns up. Now we have the triangles that we have to put back in. Let's see if we can find it. Here's the pink one right here. So I'm going to come over to here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these and bring it up. And here. Once I've done that, now I can move the triangle that I want by going all the way down here and up. Okay, I've achieved what I really wanted to achieve. Except for the fact that I think yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. I managed to take this out somehow, so I'm going to just go ahead and replace that. Where did the red one go? Okay. Let's try that again. Move this down here and up. So I'm going to have to be a little bit more careful about that. And this will come over to here. Okay. So this is in this red and silver. Again, I'm just kind of doing some cleanup. Turn it over here and move it in. Okay, I think that's about as much as I dare do, except that I want to move this pink one back in. So move this out here. I've got this over here, which should be protected. Take it out of the way. Turn it like so. Move this back, and now I can move this back in. Okay, so you don't have to do that fourth layer, but if you can, give it a try. That fourth reduction. That's about as far as I reduce it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this in over here. These two I'm going to flip. 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U. So I've got these in, and now I'm ready to move this down to here. At this point, I'm not going to reduce any more edges. But what I will do, or wedges rather, what I will do is I'll start to put these guys in. So what I'm looking for is just whatever I need to turn to put them in.